Let's get down to the big boys now. Light heavy, heavyweight and super heavyweight. The last three weight divisions and the last three gold medals to be decided here in Baku, Azerbaijan. For Cuba, Julio La Cruz fighting out of the red corner, 22-year-old from Kamagai, up against the big man from Kazakhstan, Adilbek, Niyazymbetov. Both of these boxers have had some pretty impressive pathways to this final. But for me, the one that catches the eye is the Cubans' performance, beating the #1 ranked boxer at the start of this competition, the prelims. Also knocking out Mikhontsev, Damian Hooper and Colling of Germany. He's disposed of the 4, 5 and first seed to get to this final. And Castle, that must bode well, if nothing else, for the young Cubans' confidence.
Absolutely. Do you know, in 4 out of 5 of the contests here, De La Cruz racked up 14 points or better. And while the same cannot be said for Niyazymbetov, this will be a classic matchup between a boxer and a puncher. Always makes for a great show.
So Adilbek, Niyazymbetov, just 22 years of age. Both these boxers, same age, similar height. But as our expert in the box is pointing out, different boxing styles. Confirmation of the 5 judges. To remind you, the highest and lowest scores are disregarded and the 3 that remain are averaged. And Gorne of Poland, our referee for this light heavy 81 kilo division. Cuban in the red corner. The Kazakh boxer is in the blue. This is one that many have been looking forward to. A strong Kazakhstani contingent in the crowd. And Gorny begins the bout. 3 3-minute rounds.
Nice right out of the gate. De La Cruz not afraid to mix it up with the Kazakh boxer. He threw a nice 1-2 combination from a good range, a safe range, and scored 2 points right out of the beginning. The chants of Kazakhstan, you hear him here, the Aliyev Sports Complex. It's going to get loud in here, Nick. It's going to continue to get louder. You know what's up next. We've got 2 big favorites coming up next. Heavyweight and the super heavyweight, both from right here in Azerbaijan. But right now, it's a Kazakh boxer that the crowd is cheering for.
Well, Julio La Cruz just needs to be a little careful because he's perfectly prepared. He looks very happy with his hands down, a little bit of footwork, a little bit of dancing. But he'll soon reel that in if Niyazymbetov can connect with his big right hand.
Yeah, La Cruz needs to be careful to not get too cute. He's in against a big puncher here. As you rightly pointed out, Nick, Niyazymbetov has already stopped 2, one by KO and one by retirement, and he's looking to do it again. It's actually a commonality that we've seen, a common denominator, if you will, amongst the Cubans in this tournament, right? They're all kind of real confident, they're real smooth and hot and loose, just like the culture down in Cuba. It's a real hot, lovely, fast culture, and these guys bring that style into the ring, but they just have to be careful. They don't want to get caught. One punch could turn the tide. Nice right hand, sneaky right hand by La Cruz. He's still boxing with his hands down way too low, Nick.
Well, Adilbek needs to take advantage of that. And Niyazymbetov still to find his rhythm here, still to settle. And as we said in some of the earlier bouts, just needs to be careful not to show the Cuban too much respect. Cruz just getting the jab in there. A good counter punch from the Kazakh boxer. There's the end of the first round. Very evenly matched, very close, and I think we've yet to see either of these boxers open up in full. The president of Azerbaijan enjoying the boxing here and the entertainment.
Right there, he's having a small chat with the president of the Kazakhstani Boxing Federation, sitting between himself and Dr. Wu of AIBA. So a lot of dignitaries, world boxing dignitaries in the crowd here this evening.
And the two Azerbaijani hopefuls will be coming up later on here in the Heydar Aliyev Stadium in the heavyweight and super heavyweight divisions. Let's focus on the light heavy first round scores for now. For me, difficult to separate the two in that first round. Do the judges agree with us? Well, for the first time in a while they do. And it's all square, 4-4. The Cuban boxer in the red headgear and gloves. The Kazakh boxer in the blue.
Not much lateral movement from either boxer. Nice overhand right by La Cruz to start the action in round number 2. Very much a cat and mouse game here between these two. It's a little rough in there, a little tussle in the center of the ring, and the referee is going to keep a close eye on the action. Watch how the southpaw Kazakh boxer and the orthodox style Cuban are tangling their two front feet. It happens often with a clashing of these styles. Again, the key for each of these boxers to keep their lead foot on the outside of their opponents, better for mobility around the ring, and they want to circle towards the opponent's blind side away from the power rear hand. See, right now the Cuban walking into the power shot of the Kazakh, not the right direction. He needs to be going in the other direction, or he'll walk right into a big one. And remember, this sport of fisticuffs can be stark and unforgiving.
Well, Niyazymbetov has been a little frustrated because he hasn't been able to really unleash that big left hand of his.
See how close he's coming right there. Niyazymbetov looking to load up with that left hand.
Just a minute to go in the second round, and again, it's difficult to pin your colours or take sides on either of the boxers right now. And less dancing, more boxing, the caution from the referee. And I'm quite surprised, Castle. I'd expected a few more exchanges, but for now, both boxers quite cautious.
I believe Niyazymbetov would like to get it on in the center of the ring. He's pushing the action, but again, the Cubans are just, they're really elusive. Look at the quick turns, the lateral movement. Now the Cubans starting to show some more moves in there. It's a big right hand by La Cruz, just when Niyazymbetov was not expecting it.
And that's one of the best blows of this second round. He followed it up with another one, not quite as powerful, but certainly hit the target. We're counting down 4, 3, 2, 1. And those two blows just in time could mark the difference between Cuba and Kazakhstan. Certainly the last 25 seconds, a much better round for the Cuban boxer than the Kazakh boxer. Their instructions from the ring quite clear.
We're going to see two clear scoring punches right here by the Cuban. One's a big left right there. Looks like he got it and was able to lean back and avoid the counter hook by the Kazakh boxer. And here's that other big right hand. unexpected. The lead right, it's a tough punch to throw, it's a tough punch to land, but the Cuban executing it flawlessly.
And I think the judges were with you all the way there, Castle. They agree with your technical assessment of that second round, and it's now 4 points ahead for La Cruz of Cuba. This could be the second goal for the Cubans here. And he's really got to raise his game here now, Niyazymbetov. He really does need to, and he's trying. But of course, as you've been guiding us throughout these championships, Castle, if you start to get a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more ready to mix it, you leave yourself exposed to the counter.
That's right. That's one of the problems, or one of the beautiful things, shall I say, about this sport, is in order to throw punches, you need to remove your hands from the guard about your head and face, and you actually need to take risks. You need to risk getting hit in order to hit your opponent. One punch, as we say, can turn these bouts. Such is the risk that all boxers take, Nick, as this manly art has always had a Faustian pact.
Well, Niyazymbetov now needs to start raising the tempo, and he needs to start scoring consistently, quickly. He does need to gamble a little. He does need to drop the hands. He needs to bait the Cuban, and he needs to try and put some of those big punches in that have had 2-3 contests stopped earlier in the competition. Another caution from the referee for the Kazakh boxer. Good combination from Adilbek.
Cute right hand by the Cuban. He seems to be landing that at will. The Kazakh boxer would be well served to keep that left hand higher so as to better defend against those lead right hands of the Cuban. It's an interesting thing, this boxing game. Oftentimes, even when you think you're keeping your hands up, they're not quite high enough. The difference can be just a matter of inches, and the shoulders tend to get very tired after a few rounds, not only of throwing punches, but also of blocking punches and getting hit on the shoulders themselves. And oftentimes you see a boxer drop the hands just a little bit below the chin. They don't even realize it. Their corners often yell for them to get their hands up. Look at the left hand of the Kazakh boxer. It's right below his chin, and that's how the Cuban is landing with those big right hands.
And the Cuban is still able to dance his way around those punches from the Kazakh boxer. Remember, he came into this third round with a 4-point advantage. Good exchange and a good score from both boxers. But look at the clock. It's going against the Kazakhstani boxer. And Niyazymbetov really does need to have an explosive final 25 seconds here. And it looks like, and if not, it looks like Cuba will take its second goal again. Another good shot from the Cuban. So often deceptive, the Cuban boxers. They make it look so easy. And believe you me, this is the result of hours in the gym, weeks and months of training and preparation, because it's so difficult to see why Niyazymbetov was frustrated, was unable to box the way he boxed in the semis, box the way he was in the quarterfinals, and that's due to the skill of the Cuban. Nothing to do with the Kazakhstan boxer. Yeah, I mean, we've been saying it all tournament. These Cubans, they just, and it's not just this tournament, as you rightly pointed out, some of the greatest Olympic champions the world has ever seen have come from the place where the World Championships began, La Habana, Cuba. Here comes the decision from the judges. There it is, the second gold medal at these finals for Cuba. And the men's light heavy division has gone to Julio La Cruz from Camagüey, 17-13. Well, they tied them in that third and final round, but the work had been put in the second from Cruz. That 4-point advantage in carrying him through in the third for that decisive win in the light heavy division. Another great result for the Cubans. And again, another fantastic display of amateur boxing at its finest. The more we watch the slow-mos of this bout, the more you see the skill of the Cuban to deal with one of the strongest and most prolific hitters of the competition in this weight division throughout these 2011 World Championships. Let's go down to the ringside and hopefully have a chat with Cruz, who I'm sure will tell us that he's delighted with his gold medal, as there were many who had tipped the Kazakhstani boxer for top spot.
Muy bien, me siento muy bien y muy contento por saber que pude lograr el campeonato mundial. Sí, contento. Esta victoria se la dedico al pueblo de Cuba, que sigue luchando y para allá son dedicadas todas las victorias mías.
Olan idmançılar için. Medal presentation for 75 kilogram weight class.
I thought it was well, time to move on to another of the medal ceremonies, and this is for the middleweight boxers, 75 kilos. Mr. Xianping Chang from the AIBA Executive Committee will be presenting the medals, and Mr. Bamanli Youssef from the Azerbaijan Boxing Federation, the flowers.
Medalı təqdim edir. Cənab Xianping Chang, AIBA İcraiyə Komitəsinin üzvü. The medals presented by Mr. Xianping Chang, AIBA Executive Member. Gülü təqdim edir. Gülü təqdim edir. Cənab Məhərrəm Talıbov, Azerbaijan Box Federasiyasının
First up are the bronze medalists, and it is Juratoni of Romania, the first of the two bronze medalists.
Juratoni Bogdan, Romania.
Esquiva Falcao from Brazil.
Falcao Esquiva, Brasilia. Bronze medal. Juratoni Bogdan, Romania. Falcao Esquiva,
Well, Juratoni there, beaten by the eventual gold medalist Khytrov. And Falcao beaten by the Japanese boxer who will claim the silver here, Murata. 18-9 and 34-15. Personal best for both of these boxers. Great championship for them.
Next to take to the podium will be
Ryota
Murata
from
Japan.
Japan.
Silver medal, Murata Ryota, Japan.
A participant in the 2007-2005 World Championships, but takes his first major international medal here on a world stage. And you can see the battle scars on the face of the Japanese boxer, because this man
Kızıl medal, Khytrov levgen,
gave
Ukrayna.
an excellent demonstration
Gold
of
medal,
technical boxing to
Khytrov
claim his
levgen,
gold.
Ukraine.
Evgen Khytrov from the Ukraine takes the middleweight gold. And it's another medal for the Ukrainian boxers. Confirmation that Khytrov
Zəhmət olmasa
takes the gold,
Ukraynanın milli
Murata
himnini
the silver,
qaldırın. Please rise for national anthem
Juratoni
of
and
Ukraine.
Falcao the bronze.